The city of Ardmore is reeling from the news that Michelin is closing its tire plant there, resulting in the loss of 1,400 jobs. A big hit for a city with a population of less than 25,000 people. Jason Doyle traveled to Ardmore this week and joins us now with his report. Jason.
Rich, I spoke with several people in Ardmore about Michelin's closure. While they didn't want to go on camera with their thoughts, they did have concerns mixed with hope about the future of their southern Oklahoma city.
The trains are still running, and trick-or-treaters still got their bags filled with candy this week as those in Ardmore are digesting the news that a major employer who has been there for more than 50 years is leaving town.
Shock. I think shock would be the first reaction I had.
The people I spoke with in Ardmore did not want to share their thoughts on camera, but the Michelin plant's closure is on their minds. And while the townspeople didn't want to talk, lawmakers, Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell, officials from Ardmore, and the State Chamber of Commerce did talk about it at the Capitol on Tuesday, along with making sure the state is doing what it can to keep existing businesses.
And so that is what brings us here today, just to look at our system, not to bash decisions made by companies or anything like that, but just to try to figure out how is Oklahoma doing in the business of retention.
However, Ardmore City Manager Kevin Boatwright says there was no warning that Michelin was considering this move.
Unfortunately, we did not have that opportunity to have those conversations. So I think that was where some of it, the confusion was and questions were about, hey, did you know this was going to come? Did they have a conversation, or did something go wrong? And the answer is no in all of those.
What we experienced in southern Oklahoma over the last week has been tragic. It is a economic earthquake.
Senator Jerry Olverd represents the Ardmore area and says it's too soon to know the full impact of Michelin's decision to close the tire plant.
The economic ripple effect that we'll have throughout southern Oklahoma and through the state of Oklahoma is hard to imagine.
Olverd noted that Michelin has put in approximately $400 million into the community over the past 30 years. City Manager Boatwright says the pain will go beyond just financial issues.
A lot of their leadership, to be honest with you, at their plant were big members of our community, on a lot of nonprofit boards, they were just very involved in our community.
For Ardmore's part, they do have some assets in which the state has previously invested that will help attract new business to the area.
For the investments that are being made in our Ardmore Industrial Park, these initial investments, the $47.3 million, I think is going to position our community for further growth and, as importantly, aid us as the Michelin project unwinds in our community.
Ardmore Development Authority President Bill Murphy believes that even if the city of Ardmore and the state of Oklahoma knew Michelin would decide to shut its facility, there wouldn't be much they could do to prevent it.
The case of Michelin, certainly as a global company, sometimes the best efforts can't prevent decisions of a corporate private sector entity from closing a facility.
Michelin is offering transfers to other facilities, early retirement packages, and incentives to stay until the tire plant's operations are winding down over the next year or so. Ardmore plans to create a task force to address the impacts. Murphy says Michelin is even pitching in on that effort.
They were very keen on providing any assistance that we might need as we establish this task force and begin to identify those significant blocks of things that we need to focus on as a community.
While lawmakers wanted to check in with Ardmore officials, they also turned their attention to what the state could have done and what it should do to retain businesses in the future.
That leads the way at the Department of Commerce. I'd say 70% of the time of the current staff is spent on existing businesses in Oklahoma. A lot of what gets the above the fold headlines are companies certainly looking at relocating to Oklahoma or expanding in Oklahoma.
Pinnell was recently named as Governor Stitt's Secretary of Workforce and Economic Development. He says the Department of Commerce needs some help from the legislature to address business retention. Senator Kristen Thompson co-chaired the Senate Select Committee on Business Retention and Economic Development's hearing on Michelin. She wants to know what the state is doing to better prepare for these sudden shifts in business conditions for current Oklahoma employers.
I think it's very, very important that we take our experiences and figure out, where, if, where, and when breakdowns occur, to get us to the point where we can respond versus react.
Those are the changes and structuring issues that I'm going to be tackling over the next year and a half with the legislature. This doesn't work without the legislature. Moving forward, specific to your point of, are we on defensive as a Department of Commerce, or are we being proactive and strategic?
While the Michelin plant's eventual closure weighs heavily on Ardmore, just like a kid with a brand new costume, they're optimistic that sweeter times are ahead.
I think one of the best things that Ardmore has going for it is the people that live and work there. I mean, I'll be honest about it. I think it's a unique place.
The wind down of the Ardmore tire plant is expected to begin next year, but Michelin has yet to release details of what that will look like and what the future of that facility will be.